G'day guys, I'm doing a video on my XE. I have recently uploaded a video to say that I've got a few cars here for sale and the XE is getting a lot of interest. I thought I would just cover everyone at once, do a video walk around of this car today. It has been sitting in here since I dragged it into the shed, which if I look back into my videos, have to be 6 months I'd say. Hasn't been started since then, so it's stone cold. I'll put a bit of fuel down the carby. I'm going to show you guys firsthand what it's all about. I'm not hiding a single thing, and we'll drag it out. I'll run a chamois over it, and then I'll do a bit of a walk around and show you guys all the goods and bads, all right? Alright, just going cold. So I promise you that was stone cold. Honestly, the first time it's been started in however many months. Usually it's, obviously it took a little while to get the fuel up, but usually it's one pump of the throttle to set the choke, got there in the end, and then it'll fire up idle perfectly. The vacuum still works sweet, so once it warms up after about 2 or 3 minutes, the idle will settle down. And yeah, this thing is an awesome. I've never done a video on this car, which is sort of a bit of a shame because I've actually used this thing as a daily off and on for quite a while. I used it to tow countless cars. I used it to do all my white wall jobs. I actually drove this thing up through the Flinders for a 3-part series episode of Home and Away, and it was called the Bush Bomb Rally, and we drove up through, you know, it was like 40 plus out in the Flinders in the middle of summer, and we were cruising in all these old bombs, and I was cruising in this thing with the aircon cranking, and it didn't miss a beat. It was freaking awesome. So I'll add a few video clips, I'll add a few photos to this video of that event. Look, I'm trying to do as much of this video as I can unedited because I want to show everyone that it's a good honest car. So it's just idling away now. I'm going to drag it up here now, give it a hose off, and then we'll have a look around some of the rusty bits and what I've begun to do. Okay, so the car's had a bit of a hose off, and as you can see, I've already got stuck into pulling the back end off. My cousin Ryan did this. We've got the tail lights off, the rear garnish, and the rear bumper. That's obviously just all bolt-on stuff, so that's no worries. That can go back on the car. All we done was take that off in preparation for paint. The stripes were taken off as well, which I have. I still have all of those mouldings that comes off the car from factory. This is an Eclipse, so it's a two-tone. Basically, from what I can gather, the Eclipse was basically brought out just before the XF come out, so they sort of tried to make them a little bit more upmarket to try and get them out the door. So the Eclipse was two-tone. They either come in this colour or a nice blue colour, and there's probably other colours as well. So it had the body moulding there, and then the factory maroon stripe, and they ran S-Pack wheels factory. So that's what this car will be going on. It definitely won't be coming with the Worlds unless someone wants to give me $3 grand for them. They'll be staying with me. It'll get S-Pack wheels with good tyres all round and a fresh set of red walls. Now I've had these off in preparation for paint as well, but it's a good chance to show everyone how good the pillars are. These usually rust out hardcore. These are awesome pillars. As you can see, the roof, which is common around these, is only surface rust. It hasn't gone through, and it's not really that badly pitted. This is the worst bit here. And it's not really bad at all. That pillar's the same, really good. So my plan for the roof was just to buzz it all back, get all the rust out and rust treat it, prime it and paint it. And the good thing about these cars, if you wanting it as a project and you're sort of relatively new to any resto stuff, these are awesome cars to start on because they're all separated. The roof is separate from the pillar, and the pillar is separate from the quarter. So there's a lot of areas that you can work on without doing a full respray like on a more conventional car where the pillars all joined in. So I resprayed this boot just a quickie because it had a white boot on it when I bought it. So, and being a solid color, it's really easier to match. Metallics are a whole different ball game. So any rust paint repairs I've done, like the boot was done in acrylic, and I think one of the doors there. So the bonnet and the cowl panel are like mint. The bonnet was a really good bonnet with only very little bit of rust that was fixed by a panel shop, and it was painted 2-pack. This is 2-pack, and the front tops, because I had the bonnet fold back on me on the way back from Flinders Ranges. I actually did want it to be in acrylic so it matched the rest of the car, but unfortunately I couldn't find any panel shops that wanted to work in acrylic. So that's been 2-packed there. So that's all good. I done blackouts around the windows because I think it looks better, and I got the tint done. That's 35% darkest legal tint. I'll show you inside. So as you can see, it's pretty tidy in here. A couple of shitty mats in it. It's actually got original carpet. It does need a bit of a vacuum out, so I apologise for that. The worst part of this is the armrest, which I have a new one on, and the door trim, but these are very basic Falcon door trims, so either replace it or you can paint that with vinyl spray and that will come up looking mint. It's showing 400,000. Unsure how accurate that is. What else have I done in here? It's all nice and original here, hasn't been messed with. Fan works, aircon works, heater works. I put a new console in it. Roof lining is pretty good, has one little mark there. Steering wheel's good. The interior is actually really mint on this thing, I think. All but one door handle work, which is pretty handy. Back seat's mint. What else is there to show you? It's actually got a disc brake rear end out of an E-Series. So I'm not sure if you can see that there. It's got disc brakes on it with a 345 LSD Borg-Warner rear end, which come out of an XR6, which I adapted to fit the car. The only thing that doesn't work is the handbrake isn't connected because it's a different setup, so you need to tinker with that. It actually goes really good with the 345. It's really pokey. It even wheel spins these bloody 265 just with its cross flow in it. But it does run out of legs on the highway. But it's really good for towing, and it's really pokey around town. Like, it's way better on fuel as well. Now under the bonnet here, she's stock as a rock. A little bit in the plenum, but that is next to nothing. The rest of the plenum's really good. If you know these things, you'll know that plenums are a big issue for them, but that's got a really good one on it. And power steering, air conditioning, all works. Everything's sweet. I've replaced the brake booster because that failed on me. That works now. Everything's mechanically really good. Not much more to see under there. I've got XE plates for it, and 23 stands for Falcon because any prefix for a Falcon on a VIN number is 23. there wasn't much other numbers to pick from, so they will go with the car if it stays in SA. I'm happy to let them go. I've got a pair of brand new tail lights to go with the car, and I'll show you the rear end parts, which are all need a bit of paint, but pretty good. So here's the boot trim insert, the under bumper garnish, I think it's even a factory tow bar, and the factory rear bar. Here are the mouldings for it, and under there, spare wheel and number plate garnish. All right, now onto some of the bad stuff, which there isn't actually much of, to be honest with you. The sill panels are all pretty good. Like, there's nothing in those. The rust in the quarters here, very minimal. There's no filler in them, so what you see is what you get. The underside's a little bit there. And there is a little bit in there. But luckily inside the boot stuff's pretty easy to fix, and these lower seals are really easy as well. The door's locked. The door's actually really good for rust, and so is around the back of the window. There's only a surface rust that's gone like nowhere, so that's all sweet. This side's even better than the other side, as you can see. And for anyone wondering, they're 15 by 10 wheels with a 5.5 inch back spacing, I think, and a 265 tyre. And admittedly, it's sort of going downhill, so it usually sits a little bit lower than this. More like so. But with a rolled guard, they do just clear. So 265, I've heard of people having much bigger tyres, but their cars are higher. So inside here, there's that, which is standard. It's not overly deep either. There's a little bit there, which is also common, and along the bottom of the door. So as you can see, especially if someone that knows these cars, the known problems that they have, this is very, very respectable for how bad they can be. So I think I've covered just about everything. I'm sure there's going to be something that you guys are going to question me on. I don't think there's anything else. From what I recall, everything is sweet. It's currently on Club Rego, so it's expired anyway. So, but yeah, it's obviously eligible for Club Rego, so that's $90 a year, nice and cheap. Yeah, I'm not sure what else there is to say. The aircon works. Well, the last I used it, it worked. It worked sweet for like a year and a half. Power steering, sweet as. I think everything works, opens, closes, sweet, except one door. And it's honestly been a brilliant car for me. But, you know, I don't need it anymore. So I'm just going to move it on. And as I said before, the rust repairs and paint sections on this aren't a big deal. So, you know, for anyone that wants to learn, you could pick some panels and just work. Say, for instance, you could work the white section, then work on the top section. You could break it down into stages if you wanted to look at it that way. It is honestly a really good car to learn on. And if it doesn't sell, that's all I'll be doing anyway. I'll be buzzing this thing back, fixing the rust properly, giving it a coat of paint, and I'll be banging it on the market for probably double what I'm asking for. So as it is, I'm looking for $7,000, obviously, with the back end bolted back together, turnkey, running, driving with no rego. So, yeah, look, this video is just out to anyone that was interested in this car. I thought it was easiest to do another walk around video and show everyone everything straight up. If you're interested, email me at mark@theironempire.com.au and send me your number straight up. Just send me your number and I will give you a call and we'll discuss further. All right, so that's it. I will see you all on an upcoming episode of the Iron Empire. Cheers, guys.